Before he was tragically shot, American rapper Foolio dissed a lot of people, and now they're reacting to his death. In recent news, the rising Florida rapper Julio Foolio was shot and killed in a hotel parking lot in Tampa, Florida on June 23, 2024, following his 26th birthday celebration. The events leading up to Foolio's death began when police were called to an Airbnb where the rapper was hosting a party, as the gathering had exceeded occupancy limits. The rapper then moved the party to a Home 2 Suites hotel in Tampa, where the fatal shooting occurred in the parking lot early Sunday morning. Foolio wasn't a stranger to attempts at his life. Back in October 2023, the rapper was shot in the foot in an ambush shootout in Jacksonville. And even further back in 2021, he was also grazed by a bullet in a separate shooting in the same area. Miraculously, he survived all of them, but now that his ops have succeeded, fellow rappers and hip-hop personalities have chimed in with their thoughts about his death. Starting off with Charleston White. As a famous internet personality, White hopped on an Instagram live session and claimed he was neither surprised nor saddened by Foolio's death. Interestingly, he adds that the 26-year-old worked hard to get shot on, and even mocked him for staying at a Holiday Inn instead of a more secure location. While dishing out his thoughts, White spoke about the situation saying, "The Holiday Inn? What the man, ain't no protection on at the Holiday Inn. They ain't even got valet parking." And this lack of concern for Foolio was a shared response by many artists who knew him. Another hip-hop personality who also punched down on Foolio's death was fellow rapper and Florida native Spinabenz. Spinabenz, whose real name is Charles Jones, allegedly made comments on his Instagram account referring to Foolio's death as a victory and a proud day. Screenshots of Spinabenz's post quickly went viral online, sparking widespread backlash and criticism, with many of Foolio's fans condemning the post as insensitive and disrespectful. One Twitter user wrote, "Spinabenz going to hell for that story." Another even suggested that his reaction was an admission of his involvement in the murder, with one user commenting, "Feds rubbing their hands." But his remarks weren't just because he was starting fights for no reason. Foolio and Spinabenz had a long-standing feud, with their respective crews KTA and ATK having been engaged in a violent rivalry. For years, the two rappers have traded diss tracks and social media jabs. But even Spinabenz's fiery remarks on his death paled in comparison to the reaction of Foolio's biggest rival, Yungeen Ace. As the leader of ATK, Yungeen Ace has a personal vendetta against Foolio. In May 2017, Foolio's 17-year-old cousin Zion Brown was fatally shot, with an ATK affiliate charged for the murder. Yungeen Ace's brother, Trayvon Bullard, and two others were killed in a retaliatory drive-by shooting targeting Ace in 2018. The feud continued to escalate over the years, with both rappers trading diss tracks and social media jabs. In 2021, Yungeen Ace released the song Who I Smoke, mentioning murdered members of Foolio's crew. Foolio responded with his own diss track, When I See You, where he mocked Ace and the victims of the 2018 shooting. The two have been at it for years, but when the news about Foolio's death started gaining traction, Yungeen Ace released a new song called Do It, which many interpreted as a celebratory diss track referencing the killing. The lyrics of his new song, which was released just hours after Foolio's death, include lines like "Catch his and do his, you know he finished," and "I don't even call him by his name, I call them Lil Do-Its." As expected, Ace also received a lot of backlash for the song, but the timing of the song's release made things suspicious. Although authorities have yet to identify who Foolio's murderer is, there's something to be said about how quickly Ace was able to release a track right around the same day Foolio died. Guess he just wasn't loved by his peers. Here's an exclusive leaked footage of Foolio leaving the hotel after being shot. Is there more to this than meets the eye? The tragic shooting of rapper Julio Foolio, also known as Charles Jones, left a harrowing scene in its wake, as evidenced by a video obtained by TMZ. In the video, police officers swiftly secure the area surrounding the Holiday Inn. 3 others sustained injuries in the shooting. They are expected to recover. As of now, no arrests have been made, and the investigation into Foolio's tragic death continues. But just because the identity of the assailant remains a mystery does not mean people don't have their own theories about who the person is. Many believe that Foolio's death was the culmination of a long-running and violent feud between his group KTA and the rival gang ATK, led by fellow Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace. The roots of the feud can be traced back to 2017, when Foolio's cousin, 18-year-old Zion Brown, was shot and killed. DeAndre Jaquez Thomas, an associate of Yungeen Ace, was arrested and charged with the murder. The following year, in June 2018, there was a retaliatory drive-by shooting targeting Yungeen Ace that resulted in the deaths of his brother Trayvon Bullard and 2 other individuals, with Yungeen himself surviving being shot 8 times. Foolio responded by mocking the deaths of his rivals on social media, posting a t-shirt with a photo of one of the slain teens. This only further inflamed the tensions between the two groups. In 2019, another KTA rapper named Willie Addison, who went by Boss Goon, was shot and killed, with several of his family members and family members of ATK rapper Hakeem Sue Robinson also being injured in the incident. The feud continued to escalate, with Foolio and Yungeen Ace trading diss tracks that sampled each other's deceased friends and family members. Foolio's 2021 song When I See You opened with audio of a news report covering the 2018 shooting that killed Yungeen Ace's brother, while Yungeen Ace's Who I Smoke named several of Foolio's fallen associates. Foolio himself was the target of several attempts on his life, including being shot at over 100 times in a 2021 incident where he was only grazed by a bullet. In October 2023, he was shot in the foot in another ambush attack. That said, if the recent shooting was in fact the result of a feud, it appears that Ace and his crew have come out on top. According to Foolio's attorney, Louis Fusco, the incident was an ambush, but perhaps the most incriminating evidence that a rival gang was responsible for Foolio's death has to be the track that Yungeen Ace released. Not even a day after Foolio's murder, Ace announced a new song called Do It. In the song, Yungeen Ace raps explicitly about gunning down his enemies, with lyrics like catch his and do his you know he finished, and flip his and smoke his we stand on business. Although there have been some controversies about using song lyrics as evidence for a crime, the incident is too clear to become a coincidence. And if his death was an act of gang war, we're going to have to expect that Foolio is not going to be the last person getting pulled up on a stretcher. While fans were still divided over Foolio's death, his mom's reaction caught everyone's attention. The hip-hop community is mourning the loss of popular rapper Foolio, born Charles Jones, who was tragically gunned down during his 26th birthday celebration. Amidst the sorrow and shock, Foolio's mother, Sandricus Mays, announced she would make a documentary about her son's life. In an Instagram post, she mourned her son and said the documentary is coming soon. Mays wants to reveal the truth about his life and death and show her efforts to keep him away from conflict. Mays expressed strong emotions towards those she accused of celebrating Foolio's death, especially women who supported his music but criticized the violence. She noted the irony that these women's own sons were involved in the drill music scene, which she never approved of. In her post, Mays shared how she tried to help Foolio. She often cussed out her son and begged him to remove certain content, even though she had been shot 8 times. She expressed deep regret that her efforts to steer him away from conflicts failed. Despite her grief, Mays also took a moment to thank those who believed in and supported Foolio's music career from a young age, mentioning figures like Young Thug and Zaytoven. She promised that the untold truth about her son's life and death will be unveiled in the upcoming documentary. In the early hours of Saturday morning in Tampa, Florida, Foolio was fatally shot while celebrating his 26th birthday. The tragedy unfolded after Foolio and his entourage celebrated at an Airbnb, which authorities shut down earlier in the night due to overcrowding. You know I'm saying deep as hell, we deep as hell, 20 deep lit everywhere we go. The group then moved their celebration to a Holiday Inn hotel. It was there in the parking lot that Foolio was ambushed and shot around 4:40 a.m. 3 other individuals were injured in the shooting, but are reported to be in stable condition. Foolio was pronounced dead at the scene, a fact later confirmed by his attorney. Authorities are investigating the incident and trying to identify the suspects. They believe the groups involved are from Jacksonville. Foolio had spoken about his safety concerns and past attempts on his life on social media. Growing up in Jacksonville, Foolio experienced street violence from a young age. This influenced his music, which reflects his tough upbringing. Despite losing close friends and family, Foolio used music to escape his harsh reality. Foolio's rap career took off in 2018 with songs like Crooks, Slide, and Voodoo. These tracks became popular on YouTube and SoundCloud, making him a well-known rapper. His collaboration with producer Zaytoven on a mixtape also boosted his career. Foolio's journey was marked by challenges and controversies. He became embroiled in a series of violent feuds and public disputes, particularly with fellow Jacksonville rapper Yungeen Ace. These conflicts often overshadowed his musical achievements, highlighting the dangers that come with notoriety and rivalries in the rap world. In the wake of Foolio's tragic death, a wave of reaction swept through the hip-hop community and fans alike. Among the most controversial was a series of celebratory messages posted by rival rapper Spinabenz, calling it a proud day and proclaiming "We won." Spinabenz's remarks were met with widespread condemnation for their perceived disrespect. Critics swiftly took to social media, warning that Spinabenz would likely face repercussions for his actions. Many expressed shock that Foolio, given his numerous beefs with other Jacksonville rappers, had managed to survive as long as he did. Some suggested he should have relocated out of state to ensure his safety, Adding to the controversy, Foolio's Instagram account was used posthumously to share cryptic videos featuring The Undertaker rising from a coffin. These posts were widely criticized as disrespectful and accused of being a clout-chasing move rather than a genuine expression of grief. Despite the negativity, many fans and people in the hip-hop community paid heartfelt tributes to Foolio. Jacksonville rapper Natalac said Foolio was very respectful and loved by his peers. Foolio's mother announced plans to make a documentary about his life. While some rivals celebrated Foolio's death, most fans and artists mourned and disapproved of the disrespect. Sandrika Maze's plan to tell her son's story through a documentary shows a mother's love and determination to preserve his legacy.